So I wanted to ask you, within a day or two, you winning this post of yours from when you were 16 years old popped up. Did you see it resurface?
Oh.
Of you trash talking as a 16-year-old iRacer?
Yeah.
Where you told the other person that you'd be in the big cars one day while they'd still be in their trailer?
That was an out-of-body experience. Thank you for bringing that up, but no, that was yeah. I can't believe I was so bold when I was 13. I don't know what
I was getting at. Like, were you that confident at 16?
I guess I don't remember. I feel like I'm pretty in my shell.
Once a month it comes. Yeah,
comes
Ashley.
out.
Yeah, once a month it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I snap sometimes.
Chris Weaver with Fox 8 WGHP in High Point. For a combo question for William and Jeff. William, when you win the Daytona 500, having seen Jeff win it growing up, and then Jeff...
He might not have seen me win.
Not the first two, but the last one.
And then Jeff, seeing him win it in the car that you won it in from your role now, tell me the perspectives you see in that win last week about this time later tonight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because you really didn't see me win the last one either. Well, I mean, you know, for me, what I relate it back to is the fans, right? I mean, throughout my career, having incredible fans that supported, and when I stepped out of the car, you know, then and we maintained the 24 car on a you know, race car. It's about, you know, who are fans going to relate to and support and get behind. And I think William's the perfect guy for that. You know, he just he represents the sport well. He represents this organization well. And now that he's, you know, showing that he can win and compete at a high level, go for championships, win Daytona 500s, he's not only you know, connecting with the 24 fans, but he's building his own fan base, his own identity within it, and that's the best thing you could ask for.
Yeah, I think just seeing the history of that race and when Jeff won it and Jimmy won it and Kevin Harvick, I mean, those years, 05, 06, 07, that was really when I was becoming a fan. So I think that's what sticks with me is how big that race has always been.
It's surreal. I think it sets in the more that weeks go by and you realize that no one forgets that, you know, that title. So it just is just something that's always going to stick with us as a race team and something to always be proud of. And I'm just so thankful that we were in that position, that we had the opportunities that we've had to go out there and win the race, and we were able to capitalize on it. It's pretty cool.
As the president of the World Center of Racing, there's nothing more than I would have loved, and I know the team would have loved, than to be doing the breakfast the morning after the Daytona 500 when Victory Lane is sticky from all the champagne from the night before, there's confetti everywhere, and as you're sitting there and you're looking up and seeing World Center of Racing, it's just a magical exclamation point on winning the Daytona 500 with the breakfast and all the gifts and all the awards that we hand out. So there's a part of me that's bummed that we couldn't do that, but to your point, the Audible, this was pretty special too. I mean, the fact that the whole 24 crew can walk from their office, be here, have a great meal. Everyone, I feel, even though they're rolling off of Atlanta, got some decent sleep last night compared to what you feel like after the day of the Daytona 500. You will forever be known as a Daytona 500 champion. Congratulations. There's also a lot of special swag to collect as a Daytona 500 champion. You know, last Monday night, the driver, the crew chief, and owner, they all received their Daytona 500 championship ring from prestigious jeweler maker Jostens, and they are wearing them here this morning. And Jeff, thank you for bringing one of your rings. I know.
Yeah, I had to go back to 05.
You only got asked about 15 times, so we appreciate that. Let's show off those rings, gentlemen. So yes, Jeff, I think today you're wearing one of 3 rings that you won, Daytona 500 champion winning driver. But we're going to update that one. Your championship ring from this year is ordered, and we'll come back up and visit you and deliver that in the coming weeks.
I was looking at these guys' rings, and they've upgraded quite a bit. Since
I know. And this year, give us your size, and we'll just skip a step. We'll make sure that it's dialed in. Thank you. All right, so let's keep the party going.
and get started handing out some more swag. So first, for William. In addition to your championship ring as a Daytona 500 champion driver, you're also going to receive this unique Rolex Cosmograph Daytona, only acquired by winning a race at Daytona.
Awesome.
Coolest parts of this is there's no other watch in the world that says Daytona 500 winner 2024. So, pardon me? Well, it's part of Rolex. They like to take care of all of the largest races. So Daytona 500 and Daytona 200 if you want to come on the 9th. I think I'll keep it in the box. Congratulations. Thank you. Yes. We'll get that signed for you.
Okay. And last Monday, William, we presented you with the prestigious Harley J. Earl Daytona 500 trophy, which is right up here next to you today. That trophy is reminiscent of Harley J. Earl Perpetual Daytona 500 trophy that is on display at Daytona International Speedway year-round. Now that will have your name etched on it forever. Next, for Mr. H., our Daytona 500 champion car owner, like our champion driver, you also will receive your Harley J. Earl trophy, which is just to your left. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
And now, Rudy, we've got some hardware for you, my friend. So the winning crew chief receives the Cannonball Baker Trophy. A little bit about Cannonball. So this trophy is named after the famous motorcycle racer, creator of the Coast to Coast Cannonball Run, and NASCAR's first elected national commissioner. Rudy, I'm proud to present this to you.
Honored. Thank you.
And last, we're proud to present this group with Daytona 500 champion leather jackets, a tradition that goes back to Bill France Jr.
Nice. Yeah, I love that.
Got the sizing perfect on that.
We kept a 5.
We'll have to resize mine a little bit. Fat guy out of the coat. Yeah, let me line up. Perfect. Got my ring on.
I know, I'm not going to get my TV.
Looking good, gentlemen. All right, now we've got a couple questions for everyone, so grab a seat here. So, William, now that you've had a week, let it all sit in, have you had a chance to process the fact that you are now a Daytona 500 champion?
It's pretty surreal. I think for me, what I look back on is the moments and the memories we have on camera, just the photos with my team, and just remember jumping into Landon's arms on the grass there and my whole team, and that was one of those moments that you'll never forget, just that amount of excitement. And yeah, I think it's still setting in, but you know, it was really cool also to go back to the racetrack and knowing what we had accomplished as a team, and a lot of our competitors, you know, congratulating us throughout the garage. That was really special too.
That's great. And so gotta ask, I know you, we met in Victory Lane, and then you had a very busy night, jumped on an airplane, woke up in New York City, and got right to work. Did you have a minute yet to celebrate?
We've had some celebrations for sure,
Yeah.
but
Good.
I think, you know, there are a couple yawns in the race car yesterday. But yeah, it was, you know, you got to get back to it and get back to the next race and focus on that. But certainly enjoyed last week and a lot of the things that came with it, going to New York and just seeing how big that race truly is.
Great. Well, we're proud of you. Congratulations. And as I said at lunch earlier, anything that you need from the World Center of Racing or anytime you want to come visit, just give us a call and happy to welcome you home.
Thank you.
All right, Rudy, what were you thinking on top of the pit box as those final laps were clicking down? Break us down.
Yeah, I mean, once that restart, got going and we had had the front row, I was talking myself through all the things that I was hoping he was going to do, but not that I know what I'm doing. I was just, seeing the race go through and hoping we stay side by side, and then don't get out too far. That's kind of what was going through my mind. But he had it under control, him and Brandon. But and then the caution comes out, and as I looked up, I remember looking up. I can see it. I can peer just to the side of our monitors and see the car just past the start-finish line, and I can see the lights and I can see our car side by side, but I think it's ahead. So I just freeze and wait for the call, and I was asked this in the media center, but I heard it on MRN as we had rolled out of turn 2, still on that final lap, and then I heard it on the radio from NASCAR on the backstretch. And I know TV didn't say it until we had got all the way back around, but at that point, it just it was surreal. I just in a dream. So it was like no other win that I've been lucky enough to experience so far. So it was well worth the wait. It's been a long time of racing. This is my 20th year down there working on a race car. So the first year to get one, as a crew chief. So it's great. Well, Rudy, congrats to you and your entire team. I know we had fun celebrating with you in Victory Lane, and enjoy it all. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, Mr. Hendrick, what a way to kick off your 40th anniversary. You are no stranger to Victory Lane, but what does this win mean to you?
Man, when you win Daytona, it's just it's unbelievable. I think it's been so long, 10 years, since we won that race. Actually, Jenna reminded me this morning that she'd given up on us. But we had won 80 races since that Daytona win. So, Jenna, we weren't.
How many?
80.
Oh, 80.
80. Jesse told me. No, but that's the crown jewel. That's the race you dream about. And we have so much planned on our 40th anniversary, and then to be able to win that race, it's unbelievable. It carries you all through the year. Everybody says it that's ever won it, but it's hard to put into words, when you win 300 or whatever, but Daytona stands alone. It's just, something that you dream about. Never thought you'd win one, and it had been a pretty dry spell for us, but so we're just excited to kick off the year. Got a lot of fun things going on for our 40th, so it's a great way to start. We used up all our luck in Daytona.
I don't think so.
I think in Atlanta we didn't have very much good luck.
I think you got plenty more. Well, congratulations again, and it was great to spend a moment with you and Linda.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming up and doing it here. It's so much better than doing it in Daytona because we have all our people here.
Yes.
And thank the media for being here too.
Well, thank you.
And Chevrolet and our sponsors. Now.
So, Jeff, you won the Daytona 500 3 times piloting the number 24. What was it like for you to see William driving the number 24 into Victory Lane last Monday?
Yeah, I didn't think I could be as excited, watching from the outside as I was when I was driving, but it truly has become that because I get a chance to see all the people that work so hard in every different department area here on this campus each week and know how much they put into it, how passionate they are. Our history, especially this year, 40th anniversary. I was kind of also like Rudy, just waiting, trying to hear on the radio, trying to understand, who won and whether the caution, when the caution came out, getting across the line, taking the white flag. And when I heard, I was elated. I was over the top. And I think also, especially with this group, with what Rudy and what William and the whole 24 team, what they've been building, this trajectory that they've been on for the last couple years, and just rising up to the occasion, winning big races, winning multiple races, going for the championship for last year in Phoenix, now starting the season off with a Daytona 500 win is like, it's just really makes me proud and excited to see where they're at right now and where they're heading. I think this is just the beginning for them.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
It's really cool to see his mom and dad here, because it seems like yesterday we were in our basement talking to William and his dad about going cup racing.
And congratulations to the two of you. All right, and now we're going to open it up to some questions from the media, which Steph will help moderate. Are there any questions?
If you guys have a question, raise your hand. We have Kendall back here with a wireless microphone to get to you. You guys aren't going to be shy for the first time ever, are you? We knew Jenna would start off. Kendall's coming to you, Jenna.
Thank you. Hey, William, did you make it to Eddie's place?
Not yet, no.
They're waiting for you.
They're waiting? Okay.
Well, they tweeted and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to go this week, and it's a little calmer and get a breakfast, but...
So I wanted to ask you, within a day or two, you winning this post of yours from when you were 16 years old popped up. Did you see it resurface?
Oh.
Of you trash talking as a 16-year-old iRacer?
Yeah.
Where you told the other person that you'd be in the big cars one day while they'd still be in their trailer?
That was an out-of-body experience. Thank you for bringing that up, but no, that was... I can't believe I was so bold when I was 13. I don't know
That's
what
what I was
happened
getting at. Like, were you that confident at 16?
I guess I don't remember. I feel like I'm pretty in my shell.
Once a month he comes. Yeah,
Comes
Ashley.
out.
Yeah, once a month he comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I snap sometimes.
Anybody else? We'll go to Nate.
Yeah, Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. William, you were talking the night of the 500 win that you sort of had this imposter syndrome that took like 3.5 years to get over. And you talked about how Chad had kind of enforced some relationships with people that made you feel like you took it to the next level. Could you kind of expand on all that? Like, what was the moment, I don't know if it was like during the 2020 or 21 season when you felt like you belonged in Cup? And like, how did Chad do things that kind of made you feel like you were meant to be in NASCAR's Premier Series?
Yeah, I feel like from the beginning with Chad, he always referred to me as a race car driver, that I belonged there, that I wasn't a kid anymore. So all those things kind of, I think, reinforced within our team, and we had a certain discipline with the team that showed that we were serious and about going and winning races. So I feel like making the playoffs that year and then subsequently every year thereafter just established that culture where we're not just happy to be there. We're not just thinking about, hey, let's go run some races and try to compete and see how it goes. It was about a standard, and I think that's when it changed for me. Definitely that first year being in the Cup Series, I was just happy to be there, and I didn't really expect it to be as difficult as it was. So I think that's when that switch really flipped, and that culture just continued, and that edge kind of was established.
And Rudy, for you, William said the night of the race that he could tell during the offseason there were a few things you said that kind of maybe hinted at the fact that this was going to be big 500 for him, but also what the 500 meant to you. Do you remember kind of what you told him during the offseason and prepared him for?
Yeah, I think it's the attitude that we've tried to inject as a team is how do you be perennial contenders, and the next step from winning 6 races is winning the big races. So 500, Coke 600. All-star races, things like that, Southern 500, and it leads to a championship because that gives you that confidence. So that's kind of been our goal, is that next step. What's that next goal, is to win those special races. So that's kind of been our off-season, target. Not that the 500 is the only thing, but it's just that's how that next bar to set. So that's what we've been shooting for.
And for Jeff and Rick, because you guys pay the bills, write the checks, and Rick, you kind of just alluded to it, that you used up all your luck at Daytona. Like, how much of a reality check was Atlanta for the team? And given that everybody's saying that, proclaiming that's the greatest race ever, what's your viewpoint on it? Is the trade-off worth the quality of the action versus the wrecked race cars?
I guess if the fans enjoy it and it makes more people watch our sport, then we need to do that. And it was plenty of action. I never dreamed the cars could run full wide there and not wreck. Well, there was a lot of wrecks. I don't think there was. Well, there were a lot of wrecks. I don't think we killed 4 cars, didn't we? Yeah. So it was like going to Daytona, but the crowd it was exciting, and the for the fans it was a show, and a lot of talent was shown, and cars were pretty equal, and so I mean I hate it's the first race in the playoff. I mean that's going to, as William said, he's going to not sleep that night, but it's going to be exciting. It's just but a great race for the fans, and I think it'll be full when we go back.
The only thing I'll add to that is, I'm just happy that the way that they communicated as an organization, all 4 of our teams working together, other Chevy partners, in how we came out of Daytona with points. Not everybody was, we had the 1-2, but the other guys, hung in there, but they got the points from the stages, and also we were able to get some stage points this past weekend for a couple of our guys. So we're still in a decent spot from a point standpoint, even though Atlanta didn't go well. There's some that are in a pretty big hole right now. So pretty happy with the way Daytona went all the way around.
Do we have any final questions for our champs up here?
William, this is for you. Jeff Taylor with Bayhackle Sports. The connection to Charlotte. Obviously, after you win, the congratulations from the NASCAR community and the media whirlwind that you went on, stuff like that. What was the message like from maybe people you grew up with, where you went to school? Did you get a lot of that from the community?
Oh, for sure. I think I've always wanted to live where I grew up, and everything is so familiar, and I feel like when I go around town, I'm just a normal person. So it just is nice to go to the usual spots and catch up with my buddies. We went to Selwyn Pub, so that was fun, and just I think I've always been really prideful about Charlotte sports, and it's nice to see NASCAR included in that, and just kind of the general consensus around Charlotte with seeing Axios Charlotte post about NASCAR, and it's just hopefully we can continue to grow that. And I know when I was a kid coming to this shop, this was really, really cool to see, and I think as we open that up to a lot of people that live in the city to see what NASCAR is all about, it would be a good thing.
Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, I'm Chris Weaver with Fox 8 WGHP in High Point. For a combo question for William and Jeff. William, when you win the Daytona 500, having seen Jeff win it growing up, and then Jeff...
He might not have seen me win.
Not the first 2, but the last one.
And then Jeff, seeing him win it in the car that you won it in from your role now, tell me the perspectives you see in that win last week about this time later tonight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because you really didn't see me win the last one either. Well, I mean, for me, what I relate it back to is the fans, right? I mean, throughout my career, having incredible fans that supported, and when I stepped out of the car, then and we maintained the 24 car on a race car. It's about who are fans going to relate to and support and get behind. And I think William's the perfect guy for that. He just he represents the sport well. He represents this organization well. And now that he's showing that he can win and compete at a high level, go for championships, win Daytona 500s, he's not only connecting with the 24 fans, but he's building his own fan base, his own identity within it, and that's the best thing you could ask for.
Yeah, I think just seeing the history of that race, and when Jeff won it and Jimmy won it and Kevin Harvick, I mean, those years, 05, 06, 07, that was really when I was becoming a fan. So I think that's what sticks with me, is how big that race has always been.
We'll go back to Jenna, and then we'll turn it back over to Frank.
I just wanted to ask a follow-up, William, about the being from Charlotte part. You know, Steph Curry's from Charlotte. He's recognized as a big Charlotte athlete. Does being a Daytona 500 winner push you into that league where you're now like big shot around Charlotte?
I don't know. That's for them to decide. I'm not Steph Curry, so I got a long way to go. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think there's definitely a lot of, you know, like I said, there's a lot of people in Charlotte that follow NASCAR, and it's just cool to have some of that, I guess, just casual water cooler talk. Like I work at the Y, and so I'll go talk to a guy, and he's telling me about the race and all those things. So it's a nice, you know, it's a small community that is all interested. Yeah, oh yeah, I go there I'm going there after this, so.
All right, gentlemen, so we're talking about the bigness of Daytona, which you all recognize and know. William, you are the champ. You got the belt. It's yours. We look forward to celebrating with you all year long. But it's inevitable. There's going to come a date, a moment in time where you're going to have to defend. And on today's date, we would like to share with you and with this crowd of when that date will be. So the 2025 Daytona 500, mark your calendars, will be Sunday, February 16th, where we promise to give you back your car at that point, Chad. You can come get it. But between now and then, again, congratulations. We look forward to celebrating you. You're going to be just a fine champ. And let us know how we can make this even more special for the four of you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think just seeing the photos and just seeing that moment with my team. I think also the media tour up in New York was very cool. I think that was something that I never imagined being a part of. So for me, just all of those things combined really made it feel like a dream. I mean, I think being in victory lane after the race, experiencing all of that, it really felt like a dream. So I've never had a moment that's been like that.
Obviously, Jeff sitting 2 seats away from you, you know, he made the 24 famous.
Yeah.
Do you now feel as if the 24 is your car, your number going forward?
I mean, yeah, I think we've established our race team and what we're capable of, and I feel like that there's nothing that can take that away. We're going to continue on the path we're on and continue to try to get better. And I feel like, yeah, it feels really comfortable to be in the car now, and I feel like we're chasing after our own goals.
When you mentioned up there being in the championship 4 last year, winning the 6 races last year, but now winning the biggest race. You kind of see the trajectory on the way up. I mean, that's just got to build so much confidence.
It does build confidence. I think, you know, it also builds the desire to continue that. And so I think there's it's a double-edged sword. It gives you confidence that you can do it, but it also builds the desire to, you know, go and compete for more of those big moments, because it's definitely an amazing feeling to be a part of those big moments and have chances to win.
All right, obviously, now you've won a lot of races. You know. Compare that moment pulling into victory lane to some of your others, like your very first win.
Yeah.
How does this one compare?
There's no comparison. It's P1 for sure. It's the biggest race I've ever won, and my first win was a huge relief, but this one was a lot of joy, a lot of excitement, and yeah, like I said, the biggest race that I've ever won.
Up next, I mean, you won Daytona, you raced Atlanta. Vegas next. I mean, season just doesn't stop. How do you feel going after Atlanta and looking ahead to Vegas?
Yeah, it doesn't stop. You know, it's one thing after another in this sport, but you just gotta continue to put in the work, make sure that you're working towards the right things as a race team, and it's a grind for sure. But I feel like the real season really starts, you know, coming up this week, and we've got a lot of work to do to make sure we're prepared, but we have a win last year in Vegas that was definitely a really good moment for us as a team, and hopefully we can back that up this year.
Another mile and a half, though. I mean, that's the bread and butter that's mostly the schedule. I mean, you guys want to dominate them.
Yeah, they're really important. You know, I think the mile and a half tracks and the short tracks. The short tracks are becoming more and more important because they set the tone for the end of the year. So when we get down the stretch at the end of the year at Martinsville and Phoenix, those are the tracks that you really want to be good on. So there's a few really important weeks coming up.
You're getting used to all the new jewelry that everybody's giving you.
It's nice. It's nice. I keep messing with it. It's definitely cool to see this thing on your finger.
And the watch.
Yeah, and the watch
And a
too. The watch is. I'm gonna make sure that thing stays in sight for sure because it's very nice.
It's the World Center of Racing. It's the largest, most prestigious stock car race in the world, and you got to earn that position. So that the paycheck is one thing in the celebration in Victory Lane, but having your name etched on that Harley J. Earl Trophy, the Jostens ring, working with our good partners of Rolex and a custom Daytona Rolex watch, and then like for Rudy as well, I just think that Cannonball Crew Chief trophy is a special thing. The crew chiefs and the teams, they're not always the ones out in the public and out in the limelight. So for us to take a minute and just to pat them on the back and in a crowd say congratulations, for helping guide that team into Victory Lane just continues to make it special. And we'll look for unique ways to celebrate William, all year long. We had a lot of fun with Ricky Stenhouse last year. He's a big golfer. We surprised him with a new golf bag and some other things throughout the year that naturally had the Daytona 500 2023 logo on it. So we'll figure out some really cool things that we can do to surprise William and just tell him thank you and really make sure that he feels special as our champ.
And you also announced next year's date.
Yeah.
So the work has already begun on 2025.
That's it. The work is, the work truly begins the second that checkered flag drops. So we lost a day this year, having to run it on Monday, but we're fired up as well for next year. We were fortunate enough to lock in Pitbull to do our pre-race concert. He agreed to do that since he got rained out this year. And we're going to get working hard for our race fans to make sure that we exceed their expectations year over year.